as a football coach, you're around kids so often and they rely on you for so much. You're able to help them in a lot of ways that you can't just as a normal person in the world. That's what led me to where I'm at. That's why I coach. I think that's one of the most important things that this does and this provides is it allows the kids to be around a coach in an environment where you're not coaching. The most growth I have with my position group in my past is choosing to spend time with them outside of the sport, whether it's us going to dinner, whether it's us going to a water slide, us going to an amusement park, whatever the situation is, that's where the real relationship growth happens. And I think sending coaches out with kids, for 3 days and doing something that, it's awesome, but it's hard. I think there's a tremendous amount of relationship growth in that. I was pleasantly surprised on how it was structured. My major fear of something like this is that there's too much structured time to sit down and talk about a topic or sit down and go through what leadership is. And kids don't always respond well to those things. And what ends up happening is it's hard enough by itself. And the way it's set up is tough enough where you end up with those teachable moments and kids are put in situations where they're uncomfortable already, right? So those moments for teaching and growing and leading, they just happen. It's not anything that has to be assigned to a certain time of day to stop and talk and work through these problems. It just happens as the trip goes. And I think that's one of the best things the Long Walk does. My favorite part of the entire trip is on the last day. They've already hiked 14 miles. They're already tired. They get down to a low-lying area next to a river, and all the kids went swimming. And it was freezing cold. It sucked outside. The kids were already cold. But the reason they went swimming is because they were still, the joy of it is just playing with your friends. And I loved the fact that even after the grind of the trip, right, that part was still there. They wanted to still hang out. They wanted to still do things that were fun together. And I know that might sound a little corny, right? But I like the fact that our kids still loved each other and liked each other and still wanted to hang out with each other after the grindy part of the trip. I think it's a great opportunity to build a relationship with your kids outside of your sport. And I think it's something that you can't manufacture on your own. There's no way that I could have put that situation together and been around those kids for 3 days in that type of environment on my own. I pride myself on spending time with my football kids, whether it be, let's say, my offensive line. I pride myself on spending as much time with those kids as I can outside of football, whether it's going to get ice cream or going to do whatever, right? But there's no way that I could have manufactured that scenario. I can't manufacture something that's tough and also forces us to work together and for an extended 3 days. There's no way to do that. That's one of the best selling points of this overall to coaches is it's a situation with your kids that you can't create anywhere else. That's what it was for me, right? That's what I would tell anybody who asked me. If you're really serious about building relationships with your kids in different ways, this is a great way to do it in 3 days. All 15 of those kids that went with me, we have a great relationship now. Not a good relationship, not just a coach who gives you high fives in the hallway relationship. We have a great relationship now because of this. I think that's the most important thing to me. And that's what I would share with other coaches.